the basement of the Grand Lodge.
Whoever was out there didn't like what was going on in this room and put a stop to it.
I think his ghost story is a very, very interesting one.
This place is creeping me out. This is definitely the most active spot we've been all night.
Stroke.
A really weird thing happened just up here behind me.
How is that even possible? Noah.
Figures have been seen kind of going into it on an old security camera. Hey Crypt Peepers, thank you so much for tuning into Amy's Crypt. Tonight we are back at the Grand Lodge of the Freemasons here in Adelaide, South Australia. This place is super, super haunted. Now if you guys haven't already done so, go and watch my part 1 video because we tell you a lot about the ghost stories here as well as what the Freemasons are, who they are, what they do, all that kind of good stuff. But tonight we are going to continue our paranormal investigation in a couple of different areas, so stay tuned. The Grand Lodge of the Freemasons has stood in Adelaide, South Australia since the 1920s. The building holds quite a history, and rumours that it is also haunted have circulated for some time. Many staff and visitors to the building have reported to have paranormal experiences here, ranging from sighting apparitions to objects moving on their own. If you haven't already done so, go watch the first video in this series as we have already picked up on some rather compelling pieces of evidence. We now move our investigation to different areas of the building, where we continue to document some of the strangest occurrences I have ever captured on camera. Alright guys, so we're back in the Grand Lodge, and this is more just a reminder, if you haven't done so already, go and watch our part 1 episode. So we actually had a really weird thing happen just up here behind me. So on this upper floor, we heard a really loud noise that we couldn't explain. And that's actually an area where a white lady, a ghost, has been sighted.
The hell?
Someone up there? You heard that?
I did, yep.
So I found that quite interesting. That's all in part 1. But now we are heading down into the depths of the building to the basement. And down there is actually a cafe, which is really, really sweet, really cool. So let's go check it out. Guys, we have just made it into the basement of the Grand Lodge. And you know, basements normally seem like they should be creepy places, but it's actually quite lovely down here. It's a cafe, so it's also a secondhand book cafe. They do jazz nights down here as well. Check them out, they are open to the public. And if you're in Adelaide, I highly recommend coming to visit. Like, look at all these amazing books they've got. Like, seriously guys, come pay them a visit, it's really cool. Now if you come over here, I love this little nook in here with the mirror.
Oh yeah. And they've got really like old school chairs and that. Really cool.
The way this place is like decorated, the decor is just like, wow. Chef's kiss, I don't know. It's really fancy, and you might think that it looks like a movie set. It actually was. I think it was Hotel Mumbai?
Hotel Mumbai?
Hotel Mumbai. I don't actually know the movie. I'm going to probably look it up and watch it because coming to visit this place, but it's just gorgeous in here. So, as far as paranormal things kind of go, we have a portrait in here which is of interest. If you haven't watched part 1, go do it. Well, can't see. This portrait over here is of Thomas Fax. Now he is one of the resident ghosts here. He's the only ghost that has a name put to the ghost because of this portrait. So people have been able to identify him by seeing this. And one of the really, really interesting things about this man, I mean, there's so many interesting things about him, but on his right hand, he actually has 6 fingers. So he's got an extra finger. You can actually see it in the portrait. And I believe that's one of the reasons they were able to identify his ghost, maybe. But a lot of people have seen him around the place, so it's going to be interesting to reach out. Just thought maybe he came here with the portrait because he actually died about 40 odd years before they even acquired the land to build this building on. So I think his ghost story is a very, very interesting one.
In recent times, within the last 5 years, Thomas was sighted going up a staircase that was actually demolished 40 years ago. And there's no trace of that staircase anymore. But someone who was setting up for a party here in the building and had no idea of the ghost stories, complained about him following them and then eventually going up the staircase. And when they showed us the staircase, it's like, no, that's not there anymore. Hasn't been there for 40 years.
Now, also I came here during the day to check out the place, have a coffee. I spoke to the gentleman who runs the cafe. I was like, yeah, had any weird ghostly stuff happen? And he did describe a weird feeling he had in the kitchen down here, where he said he had a weird sensation on his arm or something that almost felt like spider webs, but there was nothing there. So I can't say that's paranormal. It wasn't something that really creeped him out by the sounds of it, but it's just interesting to note. So we're going to reach out down here and see if we get anything. I think that maybe we start with maybe an Estes method. But while we do that, we're also going to monitor the lift, because there's been a lot of weird activity go on with the lift. Goes up and down on its own, and figures have been kind of almost captured going in and out of there. So maybe let's go set up SOS and then come back and do the Estes.
The lifts tend to work of their own accord when they like, even if they're locked off in position so they can't be used. If the lifts want to move, they move, and they will go to the 4th floor and be waiting open on the 4th floor by the time you've got up there. At one stage we had some small security cameras on the ground floor focused at each lift. And those cameras, when someone came in, put a little square box around the person's head. And it didn't matter whether it was an adult or a child, there would be a little square box around their head. Well, on a number of occasions when reviewing that footing, the lift doors would open and one of those little boxes would come out of the lift and go out the door. But there was no person attached to it. The little box would come through the closed outside door and walk into the closed lift. And there was no rhyme or reason for it. This would happen during the day, and it would also happen at night when no one was in the building.
What are you doing up there?
Setting up SLS.
Alright guys, so we're just setting up Ghost Tube SLS from up there on the staircase. Where we actually are is in the grand kind of entrance lobby. But the position of interest is this is the elevator. And this is kind of known to have a mind of its own. It goes up and down on its own accord. You know, figures have been seen kind of going into it on an old security camera. It would pick up the sensor would pick up as if there was a person there. And sometimes the door to the lift would even open for that person. So it seems like the perfect place to rig up Ghost Tube SLS, which Jared's trying to do up there. And we shall see if we map any figures, but we're going to leave this area alone while we continue our investigation downstairs in the basement. Alright Jared, what is going on right now?
We are doing your favourite segment, Jared's Estes method.
Jared's Estes method.
So I wear noise cancelling headphones and listen to the spirit box so you can't hear it. Amy asked some questions which I can't hear. And then, did you hear something over there just before?
No. What'd you hear?
I don't know. It's a noise. Sorry, let me start again. Alright, so we're doing Estes method. So pretty much I wear noise cancelling headphones and listen to the spirit box while Amy asks questions.
Yeah, I heard that. That could be a fridge, maybe.
I'm going to be wearing noise cancelling headphones so I can't hear what Amy's asking, and I'll be listening to the spirit box. She'll be asking questions and we'll see if anything relevant comes out. And it's supposedly good because it rules out any bias because I can't hear what Amy's asking. so I'm not listening for any answers in particular.
Cool, let's do it. I've also got the REM pod set up on the table, so if there is anybody here and you want to come let us know that you're here, then just go towards that.
Okay. Jesus!
Must be loud.
Hang on a sec.
Alright, my name is Amy, and that weird guy sitting on the couch, his name is Jared. We are reaching out to anyone who may be in the Grand Lodge, the Freemasons building here in Adelaide, and we'd love for you to come and say hello or hi. Maybe you can tell us your name.
Listening.
Oh, thank you for listening to me. I'd love for you to talk to me as well as listen though. If you could give me a name. I don't know if Thomas is around. I've also heard there's a lady here.
No.
No women here? So you're a man. Are you Thomas or are you somebody else? It's kind of interesting because there's no women Freemasons.
Kids or it's?
Can you tell me what you're doing here?
Or 6?
6, okay. It's interesting because Thomas Fax has those 6 fingers on one of his hands. Are you referring to your fingers? Can you tell me about your hand?
Me. Interview.
It's almost like I'm interviewing you, if this is Thomas. Can you tell me how you came to this building? Shortly after beginning the Estes method in the basement, the GhostTube SLS camera that we placed upstairs captured the lift returning to the ground floor. Unfortunately, no figures were mapped on the app, yet this is still an odd occurrence considering the building was empty. It's also very interesting as we had been warned earlier in the night that the lifts tend to have a mind of their own. What did you think about the movie that was filmed here? So I was also told, guys, an interesting thing about the movie.
Why?
Why? Just telling a story because it's interesting. So when they filmed the movie here, they actually picked up some audio of some voices that weren't there in
I don't know.
like an EVP. So you don't know about those voices. Was that you? Did you try to talk while they were filming the movie?
Wait.
How long were you a Freemason for? Can you give me a sign that you're actually here with me?
Noah.
Noah. Okay, so if you've watched episode
Yes.
1, we got the response Noah through GhostTube in the Grand Hall.
Noah.
What does Noah mean? I know that Noah
I'm
is...
walking.
Are you walking towards me? Down the stairs? I'm gonna note there's some noise on the street, just up at those windows of street level. Can you hear the people on the street as well? What do you think of them? They're bloody noisy, aren't they?
Don't know how.
You don't know how you can hear them. They're just up there in the street. Did you ever visit this building when you were alive?
Only if you try or cry.
I am trying. I really, really
I believe.
You believe? What do you believe in? What religion do you follow? You believe in God?
Doctor.
You're a doctor. You related to the hospital because the basement and the grand hall were set to be a hospital during war times.
Where are they?
We're right here in the basement cafe. Are you looking for somebody else? Can you go and say...
I'm going.
You're going? Well, thank you for talking to me.
Too late.
Oh, okay, goodbye. Alright. Let me get Jared out of this.
Can you not do that to me?
I'm so sorry. How else am I supposed to get you out of that?
I don't know, you're trying to torture my face like last time.
Well, you said like, I'm going and too late or something. So it felt like they just went.
I like the Estes method. I just get to sit down and...
It's very
listen.
nice and relaxing, isn't it?
Sometimes though, like, I forget that like I'm listening for things because it's just like and you're just sort of like,
It's
oh
like
shit,
a
yeah, I'm
s-
supposed to be listening for stuff.
It's like a sensory deprivation though. So
Yeah,
it
because I
kind
don't
of-
see anything. I don't...
It just, yeah, it takes you away.
It's
I
really,
think that you're
really
good at
weird.
it. I don't know if that's a thing that you can be good at, but...
I don't know, it's really weird.
At this point in the night, we decided to move the static ghost tube SLS camera upstairs to the Glover room, which sits just outside of one of the ritual rooms and is considered to be quite active for the paranormal.
There are two areas of the building that tend to have a lot of activity. The room just outside of this one where we tend to put our regalia cases and get organised to come into the meeting. On one occasion they really didn't like what was going on in this room and they set the fire alarm off out there. Literally set the fire alarm off, and the next thing there was 2 fire engines here and they were looking at the smoke detectors that are out there because they are the ones that had gone off. The detectors were tested and weren't proven to be faulty. They were in perfect working order. Whoever was out there didn't like what was going on in this room and put a stop to it. People's lodge cases have been known to move while they were in this room having their meeting.
The static camera sat in this space for some time, but did not pick up on anything of interest until we arrived back to the room to continue our investigation. At this point, we captured some truly amazing evidence. Alright guys, so we're currently in the Glover room. This is on the 3rd floor of the building, and this is actually a place where a decent amount of activity has gone on. For that reason, we've actually had a static cam set up here for quite some time, so that's been monitoring this space because weird things have happened here. Just behind me is the ritual room. Now, I'm not sure too much has gone on in this room, but I was told a story by a Freemason earlier, and they said once they were in there, they were doing their ceremonies, and then they heard this on this very door here. 3 knocks. So what do you do when someone knocks on the door? You go and you open the door and you check someone's trying to get in. They open this door, no one was here. Now, Rodney also told us earlier, which you can watch in the part 1 interview with him, that some of the Freemasons will leave their bags out here. So, you know, this is like a room where I guess you leave your coat, your bag, while you go in and you do your business, the ceremonies. Sometimes when people come out, the bags have been moved. So someone's been picking them up, moving around. They don't know who that is. So there could potentially be spirits, weird things going on here. So interesting to see if anything has been picked up on the static camera, but we're also gonna do a quick ghost tube session right here, right now.
Can you stay there? Let me see if it's picking you up. Oh, yeah, it's getting you. Yeah. You just want to keep it going?
Yeah.
Alright. Is that doorknob turning?
I wasn't recording. I've just hit record. Before I hit record, we had a magnetic fluctuation, and that doorknob, I think that they locked this door.
Stroke.
Before I hit record, we had a magnetic fluctuation, and that doorknob, I think that they locked this door.
Stroke.
Before I hit record, we had a magnetic fluctuation, and that doorknob, I think that they locked this door. This moment was very strange. The door handle in the locked ritual room starts to make audible turning noises. Then the ghost tube magnetometer spikes. And finally an unnatural light anomaly moves around the room. I've tried to debunk this, yet it doesn't appear to be dust, a reflection, or to come from outside. It also does not show up on our second camera at all. This is some seriously compelling and strange evidence. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments below.
It's locked, right?
Yeah, it's locked. I could hear the door handle. Hang on. I could hear squeaking, right?
Yeah.
Like a door.
Like a doorknob handle turning.
I can't make it squeak though. Like, you know what I mean? Like. Oh, kind of. Horror. Stroke and horror. They don't seem relevant, but. That's so weird. So again, like this is the door where they've had knocks as if someone's trying to get in there. Is there someone here? Can you tell me your name? If you come close to the lights in my hand, please don't be afraid of them. Maybe you can select a word for me. If you can tell me your name, that would be amazing. If you can knock on the door, that would be even more.
Magnetic fluctuation.
So the words that are coming out are based on electromagnetic fluctuations, which people believe like spirits can cause. So maybe they're trying to select a word, they don't know what they're doing, they've never used something like this. Or maybe it's just like a random fluctuation in the environment, which it is a naturally occurring thing, so that could happen. So
If you put your hand near the proximity sensor, you can set off a tone. Like that.
if you come close to my hand,
Do you hear a knock?
that sounded like rattling in here. Okay, there is a tram or a bus going by.
That squeak we heard before that was undeniable, like that was the door handle.
That was really weird. I did hear, it sounded like a knock. Someone knocks right now while my ears there, I'll freak out. Can you give me a word? I want to know your name. Everything just feels really odd. Okay, let's step back from the door. Is this a bench? Can we sit on it? Electromagnetic readings are really in this room. Maybe it's something in this room, like there could be some kind of electrical stuff going on in here.
I heard the door just...
Can you open that door, please? Rodney, did say that sometimes doors that are deadlocked shut will open on their own without like the deadlocks being like disengaged.
Open and close doors, move things round.
How is that even possible?
Can you unlock the door? Can you open the door, please? Can you show us that that is possible?
It's hard to hear because there's a truck outside, but I heard another noise in there just then.
Yeah, we're on quite a busy road right in the heart of the city. That sounded like a noise inside the room. Like a tap, but I'm not sure what you guys were. Killed.
That doesn't seem relevant. It hasn't been any murders or anything. That doesn't.
There has been no documented deaths in this building. That's not to say it's not haunted, because there's a lot of history here, and hauntings, could be residual even. You know what I mean? Like, we're about to leave. Are you able to tell us your name, give us one word, or open the door, make another noise? Consider it a parting gift to us.
Oh my god.
That's giving me like major like chills that that's happening. Just open the door, come on please.
Just check with that knob and we will leave.
Just one more, please. What's that?
Are you running anything over there?
No, just the SLS.
That's not the SLS. That doesn't make
That
it.
sounds like my GoPro.
Your GoPro, did that just turn on its own? This place is creeping me out. This is definitely the most active spot we've been all night.
It's going crazy. It's off.
What the hell?
That's what it sounds like though.
Oh, by the way, the dots on Amy, you can see everyone. This is coming from the SLS camera.
It's dead, so I can't
It's
turn it
dead.
off. Did you turn it off when you brought it in from the
I
balcony?
did.
It's dead. That's just, I don't know.
How did that beep then?
I have no idea. I don't know.
This room is really strange. I'm obsessed with this doorknob now. It's definitely locked. There's definitely no one in there.
Out of the way. Let's bring out the big guns.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, whoopsie. Can you... What was that say? Sad. Oh,
Sad.
please don't be sad. I'll be happy if you can light up another light on this device. All you need to do is go near it. You can make it go orange or red. Or if you can make it go red. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Remember guys, you should totally come here to visit if you are in Adelaide. The cafe is open during the days and they run tours. I'm not too sure if they're doing them at the moment during COVID, so check online. But I do hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. That really helps me out. If you want to do more reading about the lodge, then head to my website, AmysCrypt.com. You guys can also follow me at AmysCrypt on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And I post bonus content over on my Patreon and YouTube members, which are linked below. But thank you so much for watching, Crypt Keepers. Until next time.